How's everybody doing out there, man? This is the first edition of the Cutting Edge. I want to say welcome. We're trying to do a video a week, just keep you abrupt on what's going on in the world of the NBA, what's going on in the world of free agency, the draft, everything of that sort. So right now, what we're going to talk about is a little bit of Monday night. Golden State winning the NBA championship for the second time in 3 years. Um, what is it really to say? They had a dominant performance. But the funny thing about the whole series is just because of what happened last year, you knew it was going to go 7 games. You knew it was going to go 6 games. But they closed out in 5. Kevin Durant came up big. Um, but Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, those are not the reasons why Cleveland got put out. The reasons why Cleveland got put out is Game 5 said it all. Game 5 literally said everything. Cleveland had 7 points from their bench in the entire game. Golden State, 35 points just from their bench. That has been the story the entire series. No movement. One man is shutting you down. So the problem I have with the series is the fact that I think Cleveland was sleep. I think they went to sleep a lot on shooters. If you know someone is a great shooter, you have to smother them. You have to pull up on them. You have to make them as uncomfortable as you possibly can. If you don't do that, they're going to shoot all day. They're going to literally feel like it's a free throw. You have to crowd them, make them drive the ball, put the ball on the floor. That's not what Cleveland did. Cleveland let them sit back, went under screens, wide open threes. Steph Curry, instead of going over the screen, you went under the screen to give him that little area of space. It's a three. Draymond Green, standalone threes. Kevin Durant, you went under the screen instead of over the screen, little space, three. Um, the biggest thing I can honestly take from this series is we look at LeBron James's finals record. We look at his finals record, 3-5 in the finals. I don't think you can really I don't think you can classify his legacy from a finals record. LeBron James played exceptional. The man literally averaged a triple double in the NBA Finals. Surpassed Michael Jordan for all time points in the finals. It's I don't LeBron James was a beast these NBA Finals. You're not going to hear about it because of course Cleveland didn't win. LeBron James was a beast. Kyrie Irving was a monster. Kevin Love even stepped up. J.R. Smith, the last 2 games, he brought his A game. He brought it along the last 2 games. It's the bench. That is what Cleveland needs to focus on. We always focusing on the big three, the big four, these superstars. Cleveland needs to focus on his role players. Kyle Korver gave you nothing. Darren Williams literally gave you nothing. Richard Jefferson did the best that he could possibly do in a 37-year-old frame. They have to focus on getting their bench together. If they can focus on getting their bench together, I feel like they can keep these same pieces. Don't make any dramatic moves. You need to get a bench. If they get a bench with the same core pieces, we can very well see part 4 next year, Golden State, Cleveland. A lot of people are not going to want to see that, but I feel like if they improve their bench, I feel like it'll go in 6 games. Cleveland's way. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. Were not the those were not the vocal points of why they lost this series. The numbers are almost identical. So it comes down to the bench. If you look at Draymond Green numbers, Draymond Green numbers, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Kevin Love, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, J.R. Smith. The numbers are almost to the T identical. It's the bench. Tristan Thompson was not there. That's another hill that really could have changed the course of this series. Tristan Thompson was literally not there. Um, 8 points versus a team that does not have a dominant big man. Yes, JaVale McGee, Zaza Pachulia, they're just bodies. Tristan Thompson is faster than those individuals, smarter than those individuals, hustles harder than those individuals, and has more heart than both of those two combined. So for him to give me the numbers of 8 points, 6 points, 4 points, I don't see the relevance in that. I don't see how he could possibly give us that output. But it's really going to come down to the bench. We have a lot of free agents that's going to be available this year. One name that's just flown out there is Dwayne Wade. Well, bringing on Dwayne Wade, what happens is one of those vocal points would drop to the bench. Or if Dwayne Wade really is not, if he's the person that I saw him in Miami when LeBron came over, he'll come off the bench. If you have a Dwayne Wade coming off the bench, man, that could be it. Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo wouldn't come off the bench. There's no way Carmelo is going to come off the bench. But if you bring in Carmelo Anthony, then you get to drop JR to the bench, and he could be your six-man rotation, which will probably spark a fire in your other bench players. I don't see Richard Jefferson still being there next year. One thing that I could possibly say about the finals, though, I can say it was entertaining. It was entertaining. Everybody played hard for the exception of a couple players, and I honestly don't know what happened to Tristan Thompson. I keep barking up that tree because Tristan Thompson is one of the best big men we have in the NBA. When I say big men, you have to think about it. I'm not talking about scoring. He's not a prolific scorer. He's a rebounder. He's a garbage man. He works. He grinds. He plays hard each and every time. So I do classify him as one of the best big men in the NBA for that, because you have to know what Tristan Thompson is each and every step of the way. You cannot not know what Tristan Thompson is, or you're gonna miss that rebound. You're gonna miss that putback. You're gonna miss that box out. So he is a huge vocal point for defense when it comes to stopping Cleveland. You have to keep him off of the offensive boards. They did a great job of that. I don't know if it's them doing a great job of that or Tristan Thompson's mind just not being in the NBA Finals. But I will say he made himself expendable this year. Tristan Thompson is expendable. Now let's switch over to Golden State. Can they get better? Yes, a lot better. They're not a fluent offense. What I mean by that is, yeah, it's a 3, but they're not as fluent as they were last year. A lot of times coming down the court, they're trying to figure out, Steph, are you going to be the guy? Kevin, are you going to be the guy? They're not as fluent as they was last year. You don't see as crisp ball movement as you saw last year. Now, with that being said, it took the Miami Heat a whole year to mesh well together. And then they came back and won the NBA championship. This team won it the same year KD came through. So it makes me wonder, and it's very scary when you think about it. What if these players mesh well together? Draymond Green this is going to be very interesting. If Golden State wants to get better, listen to me. If Golden State wants to become a better basketball team, you will let go of Draymond Green while you can get a lot of assets for him. Draft picks. Now think about it. That's the way you built your team in the first place. Draft picks. Mid-quality guys. Give you 2 mid-quality guys and a high draft pick for Draymond Green, and you still got a nucleus of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and a bench with Andre Iguodala coming off of JaVale McGee, who had a come-out party in these NBA playoffs. Man, it's going to be scary. I don't honestly fathom a team that can stop the Golden State Warriors right now. I don't. I thought Cleveland was that team, but I did not take into account the fact that they had no bench. I thought Kyle Korver was going to give me 15 a game, at least 10 to 15 a game. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. I thought Darren Williams was going to at least give us 7 to 10. He didn't do it. Darren Williams is literally a shell of himself if you can see him play right now. So yeah, I'm very disappointed in the outcome. I'm very disappointed in how things transgressed. But I will possibly say we could very well see these same two teams meeting in the NBA Finals next year. I don't see a lot of things that's going to go on in trade, free agency, that's going to bar these two teams from meeting back up next year in the NBA Finals. The only thing that can happen is by some miracle LeBron say he doesn't want to be in Cleveland anymore. He leaves. Whatever team he's on, he's going to the NBA Finals. It's just like that. That's how it has been these past couple of years. So, from a basketball aspect, it was not an enjoyable finals because you saw a lot of mistakes. Like I stated earlier, going under the screen instead of going over the screen, lack of ball movement, going to sleep, letting Kevin Durant do a backdoor. A backdoor cut is one of the oldest moves in the book. LeBron James, you had a wonderful NBA Finals, superb. You wouldn't sleep that one play. But I'm talking about as a team. It was a lot of backdoor cuts, left wide open threes, not running up on the three-point shooter when you see he open, just sitting here letting him shoot. It was a lot of mental fumbles that the Cleveland Cavaliers had this postseason. They had a lot of high points. Kyrie Irving can take Steph Curry at any time. This is why I thought instead of LeBron James being your vocal point, I thought building your team and building this finals around Kyrie Irving would be the vocal point. Steph Curry cannot guard Kyrie Irving. It's not going to happen. It's basically impossible to happen. He showed you that last year in the finals. He showed you that this regular seasons when they met up. He cannot guard him. So putting Kyrie Irving in that mold, putting Kyrie Irving in that place where he is the person with the ball and he is the person with the ball in their hands, man, it will open up so much more. When LeBron drives, he is a point forward, basically. Yes, he has amazing vision, but it's just something different when Kyrie Irving drives to the basket. Because you have a LeBron James who is sitting there ready to finish once the drive occurs. So I would rather Kyrie drive with a LeBron coming and diving in from the wing than having a LeBron drive and a Kyrie Irving is open for a three-pointer. The percentages are much different. A LeBron finish at the rim, a Kyrie three-pointer. The percentages are vastly different. So I think that is one of the things that they struggled with in this postseason in the finals. I'm not going to say postseason because in that Boston series, Kyrie Irving went to work. I will say that. But he did it when Isaiah Thomas got hurt. But I don't think that Steph Curry can guard Kyrie Irving. When they meet up, Kyrie always has his way. So I don't see why Tyronn Lue would go away from that. But that's neither here nor there. It happened. But I will say it was a great finals. You learned a lot. I learned a lot from watching the finals, from watching it from a basketball mindset. I learned that LeBron's basketball IQ is bar none. Is top notch. A lot of errors that he made were human errors, but you could see the judgment that he had. It was the right call, if that makes sense. It was the right call. It just didn't go according to plan. The biggest thing in this whole entire NBA Finals with the Cleveland Cavaliers is this pick and roll. They need this offseason. They are going to have to add a piece that will help them, that will protect them against the pick and roll. If you have Draymond Green and Kevin Durant on a pick and roll, Kevin Durant has the ball. He's going to go on the side of Draymond Green And that little area right here, when he passes Draymond Green, is where they struggled. They could not go under the screen or over the screen. That is exactly where they struggled. Kevin Durant had a field day from three, open threes, stepping into his 3-point shot. Steph Curry, same thing with Draymond Green and that screen, that pick and roll. Two people sometimes came on Curry, but one person came on Kevin Durant. It's like, yes, Steph Curry is a better 3-point shooter than Kevin Durant, but do not disrespect the man's ability to knock down the three. When you do that, this happens. You lose the series. I don't remember a game where KD didn't have 30 in this series. It was Kevin Durant's coming out party, basically. Do I have respect for the guy? That's neither here nor there. That's for another episode. I can't really sit here and say I don't have respect for somebody that won an NBA ring. I look at Charles Barkley. I look at Karl Malone. I look at Sean Kemp. I look at Gary Payton. Those individuals, for the exception of Gary Payton, he got his later, I'm sorry. But I don't count that because he got it on a Miami Heat team that was already established and he was already on the tail end of his career. But Patrick Ewing, I'll replace him with Patrick Ewing. Those guys are legends. They don't have a ring. Kevin Durant is a legend. He will go into the Hall of Fame as a first ballot Hall of Famer, barring any mishap. I have respect for him. He won a ring. I don't respect the fashion that he won the ring, but I respect the ring that is won because the NBA championship is prestige. Anything surrounding around that, I respect. But yeah, it was the bench. So today, this week, we're basically talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers bench. That's what they're going to need to improve on going into the offseason. The Golden State Warriors, one thing that they're going to have to improve on going into the offseason is, honestly, can't see anything. If anything, will be the rebounding. But Cleveland could not take advantage of the disadvantage that Golden State had. But yeah, that's it. I want to say thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for supporting. As I stated, this is the first episode. Many more to come. So hey, click subscribe. We're gonna do this every week. Y'all have a great one.